Hey everyone, Kiki Kannon here with Kannon Studios, and welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm revisiting an old costume of mine, Bulma from Dragon Ball Z, and in this video, I'm going to show you how I made the power pole.
So I just got various PVC pipes and I am just cutting them to size, which I'm going to be using for the power pole and for the power pole holder. So after cutting the PVC pipe, I got a really gritty sandpaper, which I'm using to create grooves into the PVC pipe. This is going to create a better surface, so that way I will be able to glue foam onto the pipe. So I'm just using a thin 2mm foam for this, and I'm using contact cement. I thought that would be the best glue to put on the pipe and the foam. If you decide to use this glue though, please wear the proper mask. So I'm going to carefully roll on the foam to the pipe here, and I just evenly display pressure and cut off any excess at the end. Now I'm going to need to create a cap for the end of that to make sure the pole doesn't fall out. But first, I'm heat sealing the foam here to get a nice paintable surface, as well as using a wood burning tool to create any texture that I want. I also wore a mask when working with the foam if you're creating any kind of fumes. So when creating the cap piece, I just have two foam circles I glued together, and I will be gluing it into the end piece here to create my end cap. Now that the end cap's done, I have one more thing I have to do. I didn't clean the back seam as nicely as I would have liked. So now I'm just going to be gluing on this little strip here to cover up my back seam. Now that that's complete, I'm going to start the painting process, in which I'm using a gesso primer to start. And then I mixed up my base paint. I decided to go with a bit of a warmer brown to start out. And then I mix various darker colors and blend them in to create more depth. And when I'm happy with the paint job, I am just using this satin varnish to seal it all into place. And I decided to go with a clove hitch knot. It looked like the closest one to the design of the power pole. And I'm just adding clear tape anytime I have to cut the rope, just to keep the fibers in place. And now that the power pole holder is done, we can move on to the power poles. Now for this project, I am making 3 different pole sizes for what I would like to do with my project. So I decided to cut out these foam circles that are basically going to fill the end caps for the poles so that they're not open. And I cut out 2 for each end just to give it more length to work with. So there's 12 individual circles total, and I'm just gluing 2 together like a little sandwich puck. And after I get all my pucks together, I'm going to be sticking them in the pipe. I'm just showing you what it looks like before I put glue on them. It took a little bit of getting the laser to cut the right size because the heat changes the size of the circle. So I found that cutting a millimeter bigger was about the right adjustment. And I'm going to be using contact cement again to just put around the edges and the pole, and then stick them in there. Now to get it cleaner looking, I sanded it down and beveled around the edge to try to get it more like one piece. And now it looks more like a solid pole. And I decided to use Plasti Dip to paint around the outside to help prevent chipping.
Thank you everyone for sticking around and watching my video. I appreciate all the support, and feel free to subscribe for other videos on creating cosplay props and items, as well as resin printing and other things.